During the darkest years of World War II, while entire nations clashed across continents, a different kind of force was quietly taking shape. It had no flag, no anthem, and no official name. The soldiers who joined it were stripped of identity, rank, and past. They were bound to a mission that could never be acknowledged, not even by the countries that created them. Intelligence officers referred to them only in whispered tones as the Shadow Division. Their existence was denied, erased from all documents, yet their influence shaped battles that historians still struggle to understand. This was the army that fought without a nation. Volunteers, and sometimes outcasts, from multiple nations were selected, transported secretly, and placed inside an underground bunker built miles below any traceable location. Here, their civilian records were destroyed, their military files sealed, and their names replaced with numbers. No soldier knew the true origin of another. Anonymity was considered their strongest shield. Officials told them one thing: you no longer fight for a flag, you fight for balance. It was an unsettling promise, but the men accepted it. Each understood that stepping into the shadows meant never stepping out again as the same person. Training in the Shadow Division was designed to dismantle every weakness, physical, emotional, and moral. Days passed without sleep as recruits learned to move like ghosts through forests, cities, and frozen mountains. They memorized enemy languages, sabotaged mock bases, and mastered techniques of silent elimination. Firearms were used only as a last resort. The ideal mission left no gunshot, no footprint, and no surviving witness. The instructors never raised their voices. Instead, they observed quietly, judging who could adapt to the silence. By the end of the program, the men were no longer soldiers. They were shadows in human form. Their first real operation was codenamed Night of Strangulation. 6 men were deployed behind enemy lines to sabotage a crucial ammunition depot supplying the Eastern Front. They moved through a snow-covered forest, their silhouettes merging with the trees. Guards were neutralized without a sound. Throats silenced before alarms could echo, explosives were placed with surgical precision. When dawn arrived, the depot erupted into flames visible for miles. German commanders were stunned. No tracks, no bullets, no clues. The Shadow Division left behind nothing but smoke and a question that spread through the enemy ranks. Who did this? Months later, the division was tasked with intercepting a classified strategy known as the Black Shield Plan, a German operation capable of shifting the war's momentum. Disguised as enemy officers, the team infiltrated an underground bunker and reached the archive chamber. They photographed documents, cracked sealed lockers, and escaped before the alarms reached full strength. The stolen information, once delivered to Allied command, prevented a devastating offensive. It was the first time the division directly altered the direction of the war, but success brought a new burden: greater missions, higher risks, and deeper secrecy. Months later, the division was tasked with intercepting a classified strategy known as the Black Shield Plan, a German operation capable of shifting the war's momentum. Disguised as enemy officers, the team infiltrated an underground bunker and reached the archive chamber. They photographed documents, cracked sealed lockers, and escaped before the alarms reached full strength. The stolen information, once delivered to Allied command, prevented a devastating offensive. It was the first time the division directly altered the direction of the war, but success brought a new burden: greater missions, higher risks, and deeper secrecy. Despite their achievements, the psychological toll of operating without identity began to surface. The men lived in silence, unable to share fears or memories. Bonds formed, but no one even knew another's real name. Some wondered if they were heroes or merely tools built to be discarded. Rumors spread of soldiers questioning the morality of their mission, but doubts, like everything else, were buried in the dark. For every whisper of fear, a new operation quickly followed, demanding absolute focus and crushing any hesitation before it could grow. Inevitably, a fracture appeared. One operative, known only as Number 12, vanished after obtaining classified files. Surveillance confirmed he had contacted agents from a neutral nation seeking money and sanctuary in exchange for Shadow Division secrets. His defection threatened to reveal everything: the missions, the structure, and the identities of the entire unit. Panic flooded the upper command. If Number 12 spoke, the division's existence would unravel, and every operative would become a hunted man. There was only one solution: they had to find him before anyone else did. What followed was the most intense, covert chase of the war. The Shadow Division hunted their former brother across forests, abandoned rail lines, and ruined cities. Number 12 moved with uncanny skill. After all, he had trained beside them. He knew their tactics and how they would strike. The pursuit lasted 11 sleepless days, forcing both hunter and hunted to the brink of collapse. The final confrontation came near a fog-covered border crossing. Shots echoed, and Number 12 fell before escaping to the foreign agents awaiting him. His death ended the threat, but the scars of betrayal remained. Not long after, the division was assigned a mission believed to be a turning point of the war: infiltrate and destroy a research facility rumored to be developing an unconventional weapon. The site was heavily defended, surrounded by electrified fences, minefields, and patrols. The team entered through underground drainage tunnels and planted charges in critical areas, but the defenders responded fiercely and firefights erupted. Several operatives fell during the chaotic retreat. The explosion destroyed the facility, but it also marked the beginning of the end for the division. Too many had been lost, too many secrets exposed. When the war finally ended, the Shadow Division had no parade, no medals, and no public acknowledgement. Their files were sealed, their missions erased from official records, and their remaining members quietly reassigned. Some were absorbed into new intelligence programs, while others vanished entirely, retired into anonymity or eliminated to maintain secrecy. Over time, rumors of an untraceable unit spread among military historians, but without proof, the division became a myth. A story told in whispers, dismissed by those who believed wars are fought only by armies history remembers. For nearly 80 years, every document referencing the division remained classified. Archives denied their existence, governments dodged questions, and any surviving operatives refused to speak. Families of disappeared soldiers were told their sons had died in unlisted operations or accidents. Meanwhile, military analysts puzzled over certain wartime events: sabotages too precise, interceptions too flawless. Some suspected an invisible hand, but lacked evidence. The silence surrounding the Shadow Division became its greatest weapon and its heaviest curse. In 2023, a wave of declassification orders released long-buried documents. Among them, in a dusty steel box, lay the first confirmed file on the Shadow Division in